Well, welcome back to TRX Live, everybody. This is Chris Nentars here, taking you through a recovery session. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. I'm having a lot of fun interacting with everybody here. I'm having a lot of fun just doing what I love to do. And this time you should thank one other person as well. Thank yourself. Thank yourself for giving you the space to do something to make your body better. We also know it's going to make our minds better as well. This 30-minute recovery is geared towards running. I just finished up a nice trail run. You can see we're out here in beautiful Western New York, enjoying the spring weather that's coming our way. We're gonna do all our exercises in mid-length. So take a moment, get your suspension trainer at mid-length, get some water. It wouldn't hurt to have a towel or a yoga mat as well. We're gonna be using those things. If you prefer to take your shoes off for recovery work, I would recommend that. I'm wearing my Vivo shoes, which are a minimalist shoe, so I have my heel settled to the ground, which is a really great thing for ankle mobility. It's a really nice thing that carries over for running too. I do all my trail runs in a minimalist shoe. Over the years, about after 40, I started to wear a little more cushier shoe on the road, but I do still my warm-up, my cool down, and some of my recovery work all in bare feet. So let's go ahead and get settled in. All right, so the first exercise we're gonna go over is a little bit of a chest opener. We're gonna start facing away from our anchor point. We're gonna take both hands and place them inside your foot cradles. As we go through our session today, there may be times where I might call out to take a peek at some of the more technical aspects of the exercises. Otherwise, just sit in, settle in. We're gonna hold each position for 60 to 90 seconds to let our bodies restore, to let our heart rates come back down, to let our tissues lengthen. So interlace your fingers, place your hands in your foot cradles, and just start to walk away and establish good posture, right? Let's work on anti-gravity. So allow the suspension trainer to pull your arms behind you gently. Allow your elbow creases to open up and then reset your posture. So here, facing away from the anchor point, we're using pendulum principle. And I'm using pendulum principle now to start opening up the shoulders. If you want, start to bring those hips forward more. Get tall and proud through your shoulders, tall and proud. Then lean that body forward. I picked this exercise up from Charlotte. Charlotte's over in the UK, and she is just doing a great job crushing some of the workouts that are on TRX Live. She's doing some great recovery work and some great strength training. Keep it up, Charlotte, if you're with us today. Get those hips forward, get tall. We have about 30 more seconds here. Please focus on your breath. Give yourself a big, deep inhale through the belly, through the lower rib cage. Exhale out, fall forward more, get your hips forward more. Option is take an offset stance and allow the arms to float behind the body just a little bit more. Stay tall, maintain those masses and spaces. Think about that proud mass space in your shoulder, and let's go ahead and relax. So there we have just a little chest opener, again to start reestablish some breathing, reestablish some opening of the chest. And now we're gonna move into our stride stretch. And we're gonna coach this from the top down. Our stride stretch involves us facing away from the anchor point. So here we are still at mid-length. I'm gonna place my hands, my fingertips, no death grip, please. Fingertips gently engaging through the handles. Start in a position where your arms are directly over your shoulders and your shoulders are directly over your hips. And then from here, we're gonna split the difference. So what I mean by splitting the difference is taking a small step back with your right leg. So our right leg's gonna be our rear leg, and take a small step forward with the left leg. Now relax your elbows. So first things first, we said we're gonna set this exercise up from the top, and that's what we're gonna do. So get tall to the top of the head. Brace the core, engage. Lean your body forward. Think about this stride that we utilize in running. Triple flexion on the left leg here, triple extension behind us. Tuck that tail underneath you just a little bit to bias some of that hip flexor mobility. Exhale, brace the core a little bit more. Now from here, sink your right heel to the ground. Sink your right heel to the ground. Don't lose height of your pelvis, don't lose height of the shoulders. Now drive both arms up over the head. So this is our stride stretch. Take both handles, place them in your right hand, reach those right fingertips up to the ceiling. Drop the pelvis down, drop that heel. We're taking our left arm. We're gonna take our left arm and reach across our body to the right. So here I'm just rotating my shoulders to the right. We could bring the pelvis with it as well. Reach that arm up. Great job. Lengthening the front of the hip, getting a little bit of thoracic mobility. And now let's take the left arm the other way. So thumb behind us. Think Fonzie, for those of you guys who get the reference. Fonzie, thumb back, arm up. Release the shoulder back, release the hip down. Tuck the tail, drop the hip. Tremendous stretch here. Great job, and let's come out of that. Great, let's set this up on the other side. We're still facing away from our anchor point. Both hands are on our handles. Walk your body forward. Find that nice tall position, which might be different than last time, which is great. So we're gonna split the difference. Small step forward. My left leg is the rear leg. Right leg comes forward. Relaxing the elbows. Crown of the head up, rib cage down, tail tucked, pelvis tucked. Finally, drop the heel, lengthen the body. Drop the heel, lengthen the body, stay tall to the top of the head. So here we have our nice decompression. Add some breathing, settle yourself down. Think about dropping your body to the ground while getting tall to the top of the head. Let's take both handles, place them in your left hand. Left hand, fingers reaching up, extending to the left side of our body, dropping to that left heel. We're taking the right arm across our body to the left. Right arm across the body to the left. Just opening up that back shoulder a little bit, creating a little bit of rotation in the pelvis and the ankle, and then we're opening up the shoulder. Opening up the shoulder. Turning the head. Let the left side of the body lengthen by reaching the fingers up to the sky or ceiling, dropping the left heel. Hold that position. Thumb back, shoulder blade down the back. Maintain your masses and spaces. Give me a little active tension in the core, holding for 3 more seconds. 2, and relax. Good job. So there we have it, our stride stretch. Really working towards hip extension, full body extension, which is excellent for post running, and it's going to help us with running form as well. Now we are going to move into our runner's lunge. Now we're going to work a little bit here. Recovery isn't all about taking a nap. All right, we're going to put our body under tension. We're going to work the core. We're going to work our hips as well. So join me facing an anchor point. We're going to put our runner's lunge into effect, which means I'm putting my right foot in the foot cradles. So find stability on that left leg. Right foot is going in both foot cradles. Then let's seek the ground. So we're going to take both arms, place them in front of you. Find a position that's comfortable. So alter your position. So we're getting in this nice runner's lunge. Now, we said we have our suspension trainer at mid-length. What does that mean? It means our leg is really floating behind our body a little bit more than we're used to. Typically in a runner's lunge or ground-based exercises, we might use mid-calf length, although this is not what we're doing. So pull your right toes toward your shin and just take advantage of that. Just hang out. Find a position that's comfortable. Now we're gonna work bottom up here, and when I say bottom up, we're gonna work the hamstring mobility on the left. So I'm gonna drive my hips up into the air to mobilize this hamstring. And then I'm gonna come back down. We're gonna pull the toes towards our shin, reset your posture. Let's do that. We have 4 more reps, which will give us a total of 5. Push through the ground with the left leg. Drive the hip up to the air. Think about that hinge happening. Maintain a tall spine, drop the hip. Pull the toe towards your shin. Drive the hip up. Right leg can come underneath you a little bit. Get into that hamstring just a little bit more with every consecutive rep. You hear that cardinal behind us actually. There he is. He just moved in here recently. Good. From here, place your right knee to the ground. Slip your right foot out. And we're going to switch sides. So that's a variation of a mobility exercise from the runner's lunge position. We're going to get our left foot in. A lot of different things we could do to play around with that. For now, we're really working hamstring mobility, specifically right hamstring mobility. So let's get the left toe into the foot cradle, dropping down. Man, it seems like that cardinal's really interested in what we're doing. So from here, what's our job? Mass in the spaces, toe toward your shin, legs floating behind our body. Push through the right leg. We have 5 reps, hamstring mobility. Drop down, sink into the hip. Maintain your masses and spaces. Press through the ground, drive the hip up, embrace that length in your hamstring. Drop down. The cardinal likes the black and yellow too, I hear. Good, a couple more reps. Maintain tall spine. A little bit of work here, be active. Embrace this mobility, this triple flexion, triple extension. Good. Slip that left leg out, knee can come to the ground. Great job. So there he had a little different variation of our runner's lunge, where we worked on really front side hamstring mobility. Awesome work. Now we're gonna go into ankle mobility. From here, we're facing away from the anchor point. Our handles are gonna go under our body, so we're gonna do facing away ankle mobility. Handles under the body, and then just start to walk your body back. So this is a plank, right? Where I'm getting that slight tail tuck, getting my head tall. I'm biasing the tail tuck, and then walk your feet back, and then settle your heels. Here's a nice little calf stretch. We are biasing that tail tuck because partially I need to today, and I'm working selflessly on what I need to work on. But also because as runners, we tend to get that anterior pelvic tilt. So by getting that posterior pelvic tilt, it really changes what happens in my ankle. Drop the heels again. And it allows me to use my lumbo-pelvic hip musculature in a little different way. What does that mean? I get better hip extension, I get better core stability. Unlock the left knee, but send both heels to the ground still, so both heels to the ground. So now I'm going closed chain, soleus mobility. And we're just gonna rock back and forth here and do what feels good to you. Breathe a little bit, let your body relax. Don't forget about setting your posture. So hips underneath you, spine is tall. 20 more seconds, ankle mobility. Walk back if you want to. Find a new position where you're really stretching those calves out. Option is one leg at a time. Do what feels good to you. This is your time. Great work being here. Great work stretching those ankles out. So there we had it, TRX ankle mobility. Now we're moving on to our TRX low back stretch. This is a favorite, and we're gonna throw a little twist in there, literally, which is gonna help us with thoracic mobility and hip mobility. So start facing your anchor point. Walk your body away. Create this little traction effect by extending your arms and walking back as far as you can. Then, as soon as you start to feel your body fold, unlock your knees and fold and hinge from your hips. Make this a nice sharp hinge at the hips, letting your body relax. I said we were gonna add a twist, didn't I? So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna lead with our upper body. We're gonna rotate right shoulder towards the ceiling, left shoulder towards the floor or ground. Unlock your left knee, send your right hip back. Drop through the shoulders. Work your thoracic spine right now. Maybe you wanna think about doing a cat-cow, right? Just articulating through the joints of the rib cage, moving the pelvis even, maybe tucking the tail, exploring all different variations of this TRX low back stretch. Nice work. Start to bend both legs, rotate your body forward, come back to neutral, and then stand up, shake it out. Take a deep cleansing breath, roll the neck around. We have the other side. Walk your body back, unlock your knees. Find a new position. Maybe you're a little bit taller now. Maybe you're a little bit further away from the anchor point. Great work. Unlock the knees, send those hips back. Find that position. Rotate right shoulder down, left shoulder up. Right shoulder towards the floor, left shoulder comes up. As you're doing this, bend that right knee, sit back into the left hip. Again, feel free to do what feels good to you. Working through thoracic rotation, working through articulation of the spine, exploring end ranges. Gaining mobility over days and weeks, not sets and reps. Move that hip, sink away. 5 more seconds here, one more big inhale and exhale. Great work. Bend both knees, rotate that body forward. Give it a final bend of the knee right and left, and come out of that. Great work. Now we're gonna move into a stride stretch again. However, we're gonna be facing our anchor point. Again, we're really building on this stride, this idea of how well can I flex into one side of my body while I'm getting extension on the other. So let's do this together. Grab both handles, face your anchor point. Left leg is our stance leg. Right leg is gonna come out in front of us. We are gonna hinge. So here I have a little stride position. Now I'm hinging. So I have an offset stance, a hinge, and a little bit of mobility in my right hamstring. And from here, we're gonna add rotation. So I love this because I can unload my body, I could set my plank, and then I can start to mobilize my lower leg. So this is gonna bring out a little bit of hamstring mobility and also a little bit of hip mobility. It's great to get in the frontal and transverse planes with some of these movements. You know, as running tends to be a little sagittal plane dominant. So the other plane of motions help our tissues be resilient, They help them gain mobility in other positions like squatting, and they're very healthy for us. And they're great to sneak in on recovery sessions. Great job. Let's hinge out of that and let's relax. So left leg's gonna come forward. Right leg is our kickstand. Hinging back, hands come forward. Find that stretch. Option is hang out, right? This is great. It's nice to get that hamstring mobility. Other option is rotate that leg, and I would go slow, control. You notice I'm a little stiff around this side, which is a little bit normal. So what I'm gonna do is come out of that hip, press through the handles a little bit harder. Good, now I have a little bit more hip mobility. I'm just gonna work that. I have about 20 more seconds. Find a position that's comfortable for you. Get tall, press through the ground with that right leg. Breathe. Be comfortable holding these positions. And go ahead and let's relax out of it. Great, great, great job. So there we had it, a little hamstring mobility, a little +1 with hip rotation. The suspension trainer is great to use there because it can unload our body, keep our back in a better position. Speaking about back in a better position, we're gonna move into our pure formis or figure 4 stretch. So facing the anchor point, we're gonna begin with the handles just underneath our shoulders or near our chest. We're gonna stand on our left leg. So our left leg's our kickstand. Right leg is coming across. Foot outside of the ankle is coming down to the outside of the left thigh, and then we're gonna sink into this figure 4 stretch. Again, I'm not falling it back here. I'm keeping stability on my left leg, then I'm dropping, changing verticality. I love this because not only are we getting mobility in my right hip, your right hip, but what's happening on the left side? That's right, stability. So this is an isometric single leg stance hold on that left leg, which is giving me stability in my knee. It's giving me a healthy knee joint, which is great. Drop through the hips a little bit more, get a little bit taller. We have about 15 more seconds here. Pull those shoulder blades down and back. Good. Find that position, hold. Sink one last time. Maintain height, crown of the head up, and let's come on out of that. Great job, shake it out a little bit. Call it doing a little Taylor Swift, shake it out. So here we go, right leg, kickstand. Set your posture, find your stance, left leg crosses over the right leg, sink through that right hip. Sink into that right hip, allowing that left leg to cross over the body, and then hang out. Literally, we're hanging out. Get strong through that right leg. Maintain the masses and spaces of your body. It's a common cue that we could use as runners. Sink through. And what we mean by that is obviously our head is a mass that sits on the spaces of our neck. The space of our neck sits on a mass which is our shoulders. The mass of our shoulders sits on a space which is our waist, and the space of our waist sits on a mass with our hips. We want to try to maintain some type of good posture as we move our masses through space and as we move our masses on our own spaces. Sit down a little bit more. 5 more seconds. Great job. Push to the ground. And awesome. Come on up. That was our pure formis stretch. Nice way to open up those hips. Now we are going to our ground base stride stretch, and we're going to start facing away from the anchor point. So this is where you might want to have a towel. I am just going to go on the ground here. I love getting a little bit dirty. I love grounding myself literally, and this is what the position looks like. Right leg's going to be down. So right kneeling, left leg comes out in front of us. We are going to begin with the handles at our shoulders heights. So find that position. Okay, it should be pretty standard. Set yourself up, dig that back toe into the ground. Watch what I love to do here. Get that toe through that ground. We want big toe mobility here. It's really not triple flexion, triple extension, it's quadruple flexion, quadruple extension, because you have to get the big toe involved. Let's start from the bottom up. Big toe, tuck the tail, brace the core, hands at shoulder height. We're sending those arms up in front of us now. We're gonna bend into the left leg. So I'm bending into the left leg, maintaining neutral spine and pelvis. Brace the core. Use those handles to push down, engage those lats, sink into that front leg. Let the right arm relax behind you. Right arm's relax behind us. We've been here before already today, haven't we? Find a position that's comfortable and add a couple breaths. Couple breaths here, right arm relaxing behind the body as you exhale. Right arm comes up. Retuck the tail. Bend a little bit forward into that left leg. Left arm comes behind us. Add your breathing. Lengthen your body, tuck your tail. Allow your body to open up by relaxing. Maintaining slight tension through the suspension trainer. Just set those masses on your faces. Bring the left arm up and let's come out of it. Let's switch legs. Left leg's gonna be behind us. Get through your toe. Get through your toe. Hands start even with the shoulders. You might need to readjust yourself again. We're starting from the bottom and setting ourselves up. Big toe, pelvis, hip behind us, shoulders up, abs engaged, core engaged. Press through the foot cradles. Send both hands up. Bend into that right leg. Great job. Nice stride stretch. Add your breath. Next exhale, brace a little bit harder. Let the left hand float behind the body. Let that shoulder relax. Let that pec and chest open. Right fingers reaching up to the sky. Core engaged. Bracing the core. Beautiful. Bring the left arm up. Right arm floats behind our body. Right arm relaxes, floats, releases. A little bit of tension through the left side of the suspension trainer will breed stability in my trunk. Stability in my trunk will give me shoulder mobility, hip mobility. And then breathe and relax. Great job. Let's come on out of that. Fantastic work. So there we had it. We did a stride stretch 3 ways. So if you like fine dining, there's my take on the stride stretch. I love Beats done 5 ways. One of my favorite restaurants, Black Sheep here in Buffalo, does an awesome job, and I just love Beats. So I love that. We're going to get into our side torso stretch, and I forgot to mention this earlier. I meant to set this up because we are going to find a fantastic way to stretch our ITB and our TFL, which sometimes can go bonkers in runners, right? So here we are. Let's take both hands, grab both handles. Option is place the suspension trainer in single handle mode. Place the suspension trainer in single handle mode. Okay? Outside hand comes above the head, inside hand comes up. Now here's where we want to set up this position for the hip. We're going to split our stance again. Right leg coming forward, left leg goes behind us. Set your plank by really planting that handle, not pushing down on your head, but planting the handle on top of your head. From here, get tall. Now, check this out. Let your body fall away. Let your body bend like a C. You don't have to be at end range. Keep some tension. Now, from here, tuck your tail, maintaining tension, maintaining height in the top of the head. Release your left heel to the ground. By releasing the left heel to the ground, what happens? That's right, ITB stretch. So I'm getting this tremendous stretch in the hip. Stay tall. Call that decompression. Go ahead and relax out of that. So we set that up a little bit earlier during our stride stretch where we set our body up and then we say, hey, drop your heel without losing the height of your body. That allowed our leg to float behind us. Here, what we're doing is dropping our heel without moving our body, allowing the hip to come out and getting that distraction. Let's do it again on the other side. Plant the handle, right hand on my handle. Left hand joins, both hands on top of the head. Split the difference. So here we have, right leg goes back, left leg comes forward. Brace your core, start tall. Then we bend. Lead with your hip, lead with your hip, lead with your hip. Drop the heel. Left knee stays out. Body falls. Heel drops. Move from that hip. And then drive your body out of it. So that is a great stretch to come in and out of. It takes a lot of tension in the core to be able to allow that hip to relax. So I love starting with that stretch in a little more dynamic fashion because I need this stability to open up that hip, okay? So there you have it. We really worked on that runners, walkers stride today. I hope you feel better. I know I do. I really appreciate all you guys joining us, and it's just fun. Hope you enjoyed the beautiful environment. Let's keep touch. Please let me know what is going on in your lives. We'd love to hear from you. I'd love to help you solve any problems you're having, fitness or otherwise. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you next time.